we're about to embark upon the Flight4Life, and that was a concept that was born probably 3 years ago now, 2 or 3 years ago. And in planning for the Dakar, one of the things that we realized is we couldn't completely control the date when we actually go. That's in the hands of a team, Bowler Off-Road. And so we realized we needed to do something that could just get the whole project started for us. And so we planned the Flight4Life. And that is a Guinness World Record attempt to fly paramotors around Australia, further than anybody's flown them in one continuous expedition. So hopefully that will be about 15,500 kilometers. With regards to the training, life doesn't slow down at all. I've just got back from a great trail run with my wife Jackie. It's a beautiful summer evening here in Canada. You can probably see the hummingbirds behind me fighting for their meal.
My name's Glenn Derouin. I run a paragliding school for the last 22 years here in Canada called Paraglide Canada. We're going to go have an adventure in Australia and see if we can set a new world record.
He was one of the drivers, and just started chatting to him and ended up helping him out in a few rallies as a service crew, and then started talking about this trip and decided to be a good trip to be involved in. I've seen a paramotor once, and yeah, it's an interesting bit of machinery.
Preparation is twofold. In fact, it's probably threefold. It's physical, because we'll be flying for 90 continuous days. We'll be flying twice a day. Total flying time could be as much as 7 or 8 hours every day. And while sitting in a harness in a paraglider doesn't sound as though it could be physical, the truth is it's an endurance event, and if nothing else, it's going to get quite laborious sitting in that same position. And so the middle of the day when we're not flying, we'll probably be doing some exercise then. So staying physically fit before we get there is really important. Mentally being aware of the challenges is a big deal.
We're going to have to watch the weather, because the weather is the most important part of the paragliding. We only have a forward speed of 40 kilometers an hour, so we've got to make sure that we're flying in calm conditions and we're not taking chances.
In case you can hear me, we're about to go paramotoring in Lumbee Valley in Vernon. It's early morning, we've got easterly breeze, nice and gentle. Had a lovely flight last night, and you smell nice.
Oh, thank you.
Yeah.
Considering we've been camping with no...
Oh, that's, we've had to make up for the camping. So, yeah, so we're going to take off, have a nice flight, and see you in about an hour and a half.
So what happens with this rig here when you take off?
Motor goes, fire the motor up, full start, motor comes up in the air, or the wing comes up in the air, the motor pushes forward and gradually will take off. That's the way it's supposed to work, so we'll see what happens today. Fingers crossed will be good.
See you then.
Yeah.
Bye.
Take the beauty, take the prize. Open your eyes, snake the blue sea, make the prize. Think of it, project it in. Experiments in fear and sin. Free your thoughts and take them higher.
There's a few things that we are really excited about with this project. One of them has to be the relationship with Parajet. To make this successful, we definitely need a company that is used to working with expedition type projects. Parajets certainly are. The other is flying in Australia. We are so excited about the scenery and the people that we're going to meet on this exciting adventure.
There's always the glitches that come along, right? I've had wipeouts, and I've been lost, and I've been stranded a few times, flat tires, mechanical breakdowns. It's all part of the adventure.
The other challenge is really being very, very careful with the wind conditions. With paramotoring, we really can't afford to fly in very thermic wind when it gets very hot, and so it's really flying early in the morning and late at night.
Just need to keep going and do whatever we can with and beyond our abilities at some point to keep moving towards the goal of saving lives. Yeah, for sure. I think the current issues in the Horn of Africa really highlight the vastness of the problems that are out there, but also I think it's difficult to overcome that feeling of not being able to make a difference, because you're up against huge numbers of people dying and just the terrible, terrible conditions that are there. But also, you feel as if you're struggling against inefficient governments and just a lack of coordinated effort. And, you've got warlords and terrorists and drought conditions and stuff. But, you just have to keep, I think if you're like our charity and you keep it simple and keep it small, like, if you just focus on what you can do, one project at a time, then, you do have efficiencies and you can make a difference.
I've always wanted to raise money for different charities, and on my travels throughout the world I realize how lucky we are living in Canada and how fortunate we are to be born here. And there's a lot of people out there through South America and Central America and, the less developed countries that are so desperate even to get clean water and to have proper schools and clothing and even electricity in their houses. And along my trips I've realized that at one point in your life you should start giving something back to the world.
The whole purpose of the Flight for Life is to raise money for charity. Yes, it's a great adventure, and yes, it's a potential Guinness World Record if we're successful. But really, if we did that and didn't do anything else, I personally find it a little shallow, and I don't mean to offend anybody, but I'd like to do something that gives back to the world or adds some value to the world. And so the objective is that it's part of raising $4 million for Rally for Life, which is a very important charity for Jackie and I. It's doing some great work with safe water projects in Kenya at the moment, and with children's orphanages and educations in Guatemala and Nicaragua. And so we want to ensure that we can help save children's lives, and every little bit helps.